Our story begins in a boxing gym in Korea. The owner of this gym is a man named Choi and he is busy cleaning the place. Alongside him are his two adopted children whom he loves deeply, Giri and Shinwoo. Giri is very hardworking while Shinwoo is quite lazy when it comes to chores. However, Shinwoo is extremely talented in martial arts. In fact, he has already proven himself by winning the district boxing Olympics. Because of his victory, Shinwoo receives a government scholarship, which allows both him and Giri to attend a well-known school in the city. On the first day of school, Shinwoo oversleeps and has to rush to get ready. Unfortunately, by the time he arrives, he is already late. Without hesitation, the hall monitor punishes him. Along with other late students, Shinwoo is made to do push-ups. After completing his punishment, Shinwoo heads to his new classroom for his first class. As soon as he enters, all the students turn their attention toward him, since he is the new student who arrived late on the very first day. Feeling a bit awkward, Shinwoo walks over to Giri, who is introducing herself to the class. After a while, both Shinwoo and Giri take their respective seats. Throughout the class, Shinwoo pays no attention to the teacher and keeps sleeping. Luckily, he is sitting at the very back so no one notices. Meanwhile, Shinwoo's lazy behavior catches the attention of the student sitting next to him, Jin Wong, who seems eager to befriend him. Soon Shinwoo and Jin Wong become good friends. They even start buying the same snacks and drinks together in the cafeteria. After school, Shinwoo practices boxing to become stronger and protect himself. While he is focused on training, his father Choi arrives and scolds him, having found out that Shinwoo was late to school. Instead of apologizing, Shinwoo talks back, making Choi even angrier. At the same time, Giri is watching a drama while eating spicy noodles. Shinwoo walks into the kitchen, grabs chopsticks and snatches her noodles. Annoyed by his mischievous behavior, Giri insists that he buy her new noodles, and ice cream as well. So, Shinwoo heads to a convenience store and even uses his saved money to buy food for her. As he exits the store, he sees some bullies harassing an innocent boy. The boy gets pushed and bumps into Shinwoo, causing the noodles and ice cream to fall. Shinwoo doesn't like this, so he asks the bullies to pay for the food. Instead of apologizing, they laugh at him for daring to ask them for money. One of them, Yoon Jong, even mocks Shinwoo's appearance. Angered by this insult, Shinwoo throws a powerful punch, knocking Yoon Jong out in a single hit. Surprisingly, some girls from Shinwoo's class record the entire incident. The innocent boy is deeply impressed by Shinwoo's bravery, as no one had ever dared to stand up to Yoon Jong before. Yoon Jong was known for bullying weaker students. The boy offers Shinwoo money to thank him, but just as Shinwoo is about to accept it, he notices the girl's recording. Not wanting it to seem like he fought for money, he refuses, even though he really needs it. When Shinwoo returns home, he gives Giri the noodles and ice cream, but they are ruined. Seeing her spoiled food, Giri gets angry again and storms off to her room. The next morning, Shinwoo oversleeps again and ends up doing push-ups as punishment. Later, while walking through the school hallway, he notices students staring at him. Confused, he enters his classroom and sees his classmates looking at him with respect. Shocked, Shinwoo asks Jin Wong what's going on. Jin Wong shows him a video from yesterday, of Shinwoo knocking out Yoon Jong. Because of this video, students are impressed by Shinwoo's courage. Some even start seeing him as a hero. At the same time, Lee, the leader of Yoon Jong's gang, watches the video and becomes furious that Shinwoo attacked his member. He gets even angrier upon learning that the video has gone viral, damaging his gang's reputation. Now, more students are starting to stand against Lee's gang, inspired by Shinwoo. Despite his anger, Lee decides to recruit Shinwoo into his gang, believing he could become a powerful enforcer. In fact, Lee's parents own the school, which makes him believe he can do anything without consequences. After school, Shinwoo goes to train at Choi's gym as usual. During training, a man named Juni suddenly arrives and introduces himself, saying he wants to join the gym and train regularly. The next day, Shinwoo oversleeps again, rushes to school and continues sleeping through class, until members of Lee's gang come to bother him for revenge. Giri notices this and steps in, telling them to leave Shinwoo alone. One gang member tries to intimidate her, but Shinwoo quickly intervenes and challenges them to fight in the hallway. Students gather to watch, excited to see their hero in action. As expected, Shinwoo easily defeats the gang members. This fight catches the attention of Jeong, the student council president, who becomes interested in Shinwoo. After the fight, she calls him to the student council room. During their conversation, Jiang praises his bravery for standing up against Lee's gang and says it's rare to see someone challenge them. She reveals that no teacher dares to oppose Lee because he is the owner's son, and that she had been waiting for someone like Shinwoo. Hearing her praise, Shinwoo feels shy, and instantly develops a crush on her. To maintain his hero image, he tells Jiang that he stood against the gang to end bullying in the school. After leaving the room, Lee approaches Shinwoo, not for revenge but to invite him to join his gang. He even offers money to tempt him. However, Shinwoo refuses as he doesn't want to join a gang just for money. After school, Shinwoo buys Giri her dream helmet, making her extremely happy. Excited, she decides to cook something special for him and goes to buy groceries. Meanwhile, Shinwoo goes to a supermarket to buy a drink, but realizes he doesn't have enough money. At that moment, Jiang appears and pays for him. In return, she asks him to go on a date with her so they can get to know each other better. Since Shinwoo already has a crush on her, he happily agrees. That night, Giri prepares a delicious meal for Shinwoo, but he never comes home, leaving her disappointed and upset. The next day, Lee learns from his gang that their reputation has been declining since Shinwoo arrived. Furious, he smashes his phone. Meanwhile, Shinwoo sees Jiang talking with Junie and feels jealous. Later at the gym, he asks Junie about his relationship with Jiang. Junie reveals that Jiang is his younger sister, which relieves Shinwoo and gives him hope. Soon after, Choi arrives and praises Junie's martial arts, saying he's even better than Shinwoo. This bothers Shinwoo, motivating him to train even harder. The next day at school, Lee's gang continues bullying weaker students for money. Fortunately, student council members intervene and Jiang warns Lee to stop, or she will report him. Enraged, Lee holds himself back but claims that sooner or later Shinwoo will join his gang. Meanwhile, a tall senior challenges Shinwoo to a fight, but Shinwoo easily knocks him out, shocking everyone again. However, the teachers disapprove of his behavior. Shinwoo gets scolded and Choi is called to school. The teacher asks him to keep a strict watch on Shinwoo. That night, Shinwoo tells Jiang that he can no longer protect students from Lee's gang, as he is tired of getting scolded while teachers are too afraid to punish Lee. A few days later, something unexpected happens. Shinwoo goes to Lee and says he wants to join his gang. Everyone is shocked. The same students who once admired him as a hero now feel disappointed and start avoiding him. During break time, Lee's gang asks Shinwoo to help them extort money, but secretly Shinwoo records everything. After school, Yoonjong gathers the gang without telling Lee and plans to attack Shinwoo at the gym. But instead they find Junie practicing and attack him. Outnumbered, Junie gets beaten badly. In the middle of the chaos, Giri arrives and is shocked to see the gym being destroyed. She tries to call the police, but Yoonjong hits her from behind, knocking her unconscious. Panicking, the gang flees. Junie calls Shinwoo immediately. When Shinwoo arrives and sees what happened to Giri, he is filled with rage. Without hesitation, he heads straight to Lee's hideout. There he fights the entire gang fiercely and defeats them one by one, including Yoonjong. Finally, Lee steps in. Unlike others, Lee is an MMA fighter who has won multiple championships, including an Olympic title. At first, Lee easily blocks Shinwoo's attacks. Shinwoo begins to struggle and is close to losing. But fueled by anger, he gathers his strength and lands a powerful punch, breaking one of Lee's teeth. With that final blow, Shinwoo wins the fight. Soon after, Jiang arrives. Shinwoo hands her a phone containing recordings of the gang's crimes and asks her to report everything to the school. A few days later, thanks to Shinwoo's efforts, the school becomes peaceful. Lee's gang is finally stopped. Students once again admire Shinwoo and proudly call him a hero. In the final scene, Shinwoo peacefully enjoys his school days with his friends. And with that, the story comes to an end. So, how did you like this story? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you again with another new story. Until then, goodbye.